Leonard sat hunched over his laptop, the dim glow illuminating his eager face as he delved into local legends. His fascination with the supernatural drove him to unearth tales that lay buried in history. At night, a particular legend caught his attention: the blood moon. To be an omen, heralding disasters and awakening ancient evils long since slumbered. Intrigued, Leonard leaned closer to the screen, absorbing accounts from various cultures about strange happenings linked to this ominous lunar event. He noted how townsfolk recounted nightmares and eerie occurrences leading up to a blood moon. The more he read, the stronger his desire grew to experience it for himself. He rushed to share his findings with Maya, bursting through her front door without knocking. Couch flipping through a book on mythology, she listened as Leonard excitedly explained how previous blood moons had been linked to calamities: famine in Asia, plagues in Europe, each tale woven with threads of fear and intrigue. Maya wore an expression of skepticism as she absorbed Leonard's enthusiasm, appreciated his passion for urban exploration. A sense of foreboding accompanied such discussions. The idea of venturing out during an impending blood moon felt reckless and stirred something deep within her, a cautionary instinct rooted in folklore. Their conversation deepened. Leonard proposed an adventure. They would explore the nearby forest under the crimson moonlight on the night it appeared. Thrill coursed through him at the thought of unraveling its secrets firsthand. Despite Maya's hesitant protest regarding potential dangers lurking in unexamined shadows, Leonard's excitement proved infectious. Preparations began as anticipation filled the air like a gathering storm. They gathered supplies, flashlights flickering against darkness like tiny suns, and set plans for their late-night expedition beneath nature's haunting beauty. Prepared for their journey, unsettling whispers floated through town: a sudden surge in nightmares reported by residents and strange behaviors among animals unsettled everyone's peace. Cats hissed at unseen things, dogs barked into empty spaces where only shadows lingered. Each occurrence weighed heavily on Maya, while igniting fire within Leonard's adventurous spirit. Arrived swiftly, dusk descended upon them like a shroud as they approached the forest edge. Trees loomed tall around them, silent sentinels guarding ancient secrets just beyond sight as twilight surrendered itself entirely to night. With each step deeper into those woods came whispers carried on cold breezes, distant rustling, hinted at life concealed within darkness, waiting patiently for those brave or foolish enough to trespass their domain. They reached an open clearing beneath shimmering stars, slowly cloaked by clouds gathering overhead like dark omens announcing fate unknown yet unwritten. The blood moon would soon rise, crimson hue painting everything it touched in shades both beautiful and grotesque. That moment before chaos unfurled above them, something shifted within the air, a tension woven from dread intermingling with curiosity stirred by ancient echoes urging onward toward destiny not yet grasped or understood. On the night of the blood moon, Leonard and Maya ventured deep into the forest, a foreboding hanging heavily in the air. The usual sounds of nocturnal life were eerily absent, replaced by an unsettling silence that closed in around them. They moved further. Ancient trees loomed like sentinels, their gnarled branches intertwining overhead and blocking most of the moonlight. They stumbled upon Old Man Harris sitting on a fallen log. His face was shadowed beneath a wide-brimmed hat, eyes glinting with unsettling knowledge as he regarded them with concern and pity. Despite his frail appearance, he exuded an unmistakable gravity. It felt as though he had seen too much. Leonard approached him eagerly, excited to hear more about the legends he had uncovered. Old Man Harris spoke in hushed tones, recounting tales from years past, stories of townsfolk vanishing without a trace during nights when shadows twisted into something far darker than mere darkness. He warned them against staying out during such a celestial event. Tales of madness and despair flowed from his lips like dark honey. Aya listened intently, but felt a chill creeping up her spine with each word absorbed. He glanced at Leonard, unfazed by the warnings, his curiosity only intensified. Undeterred by fear or reason, he suggested they continue their exploration despite Old Man Harris's ominous advice. Dusk settled deeper into night. They found an open clearing where they set up camp beneath the crimson glow of the blood moon. Flickering flames danced around them as they settled onto logs nearby, their laughter mingling uneasily with the strange stillness surrounding them. As darkness enveloped them completely, odd noises began swirling through the trees, a rustling sound that felt almost alive. They exchanged glances filled with uncertainty as fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures flitted just beyond their line of sight. Aya's heart raced. Each whispering rustle seemed to call out from beyond the veil between realms. That moment, beneath eerie red light, doubt seeped into her mind like ink spreading across paper. She wanted to believe it was merely her imagination running wild, a concoction of fear combined with folklore. She couldn't shake off what felt like unseen eyes watching from afar. Leonard continued probing questions about what lay hidden within those woods, the history buried under layers of time and myth, but Maya's thoughts were elsewhere. Couldn't ignore how connected everything felt, the shadows lurking just outside their campfire's reach and unsettling tales shared by old man Harris lingered in her mind like seeds planted deep within her psyche. Fire crackled softly while shadows swayed against its light, a dance both inviting and dreadful under the watchful gaze of the blood moon above, a reminder that some things are better left undisturbed among whispered legends and forgotten lore. The night deepened, the forest transformed into a realm of shadows and secrets. Leonard sat beside the flickering campfire, his eyes reflecting the flames as visions danced at the edge of his consciousness. It grew louder, swirling around him like an intoxicating mist that beckoned him toward something hidden. Aya watched with unease as Leonard's demeanor shifted. A vibrancy in his eyes morphed into a distant stare, suggesting he was no longer entirely present. Felt as if something unseen had latched onto him, a force stronger than mere curiosity. He reached out, trying to tether herself to their shared reality through memories of their adventures together, but her efforts slipped away like grains of sand through her fingers. Atmosphere thickened with every passing moment. The blood-red moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow across the clearing. Shadows elongated and twisted in grotesque forms around them, dark shapes creeping closer, while Maya struggled against the rising tide of fear within her heart. Fragments of past horrors invaded their minds, glimpses of those who had wandered under previous blood moons, faces twisted in despair, etched deeply upon their features. Aya gasped softly at these fleeting images. She could almost hear their cries carried on winds slithering through branches overhead. And Harris's warnings echoed relentlessly in her thoughts. The desperate pleas to flee before darkness enveloped them completely rang true now, more than ever. He urged Leonard to come back to her side, pleading silently for him not to drift too far into madness that threatened to pull him under its suffocating grip. Yet Leonard remained ensnared by ethereal calls, a siren's song promising knowledge or perhaps doom. Shadows coiled around his frame like serpents eager to swallow him whole. They whispered secrets meant only for those willing to pay a steep price, steeped in sacrifice and sorrow. Aya summoned courage from deep within herself. She reminded Leonard of who he was, their shared laughter echoing among trees cloaked in darkness, but each attempt seemed futile against whatever malevolent force sought dominion over his mind. Desperation, she began recounting tales from their childhood, stories filled with adventure and friendship that defined them both, hoping familiarity could breach whatever chasm had formed between them amidst encroaching shadows. Entranced by voices urging him forward, a hesitant step toward an ancient stone altar concealed just beyond sight. It loomed ominously amid twisted roots and gnarled branches draped like shrouds over long-forgotten rituals. Settled deep within Maya's bones, as she recognized it, a harbinger of calamity rooted in dark history, where lives became mere offerings beneath the blood moon's baleful gaze. Leonard stood poised on a precipice between worlds, that tantalizing veil separating sanity from chaos, and Maya fought fiercely against currents dragging him toward oblivion, even as spectral figures began materializing around them. They emerged slowly from mist swirling about the lost souls yearning for recognition, or release trapped within realms far removed from light. He grasped his arm tightly while fear surged through her veins, yet somewhere beneath layers of dread lay threads woven by hope, as dawn would inevitably break after darkest nights passed. Thus began a battle not only for Leonard's soul, but for clarity amid despair, threatening all they held dear against sinister forces waiting eagerly just beyond reach. As the night deepened, stillness enveloped the forest. Leonard's fascination had taken root within him, compelling him to delve deeper into the shadows that beckoned from beyond. The campfire flickered uncertainly, casting shifting shapes on the ground that seemed to writhe with life of their own. Gazed toward the thick trees lining the edge of their clearing, danced along the edges of his consciousness, drawing him closer to an ancient altar he sensed lay hidden in the depths of the woods. Pulse surged through him, both thrilling and terrifying, with each heartbeat urging him onward into darkness. Maya watched her friend intently, noting the shift in his demeanor. His eyes glimmered with a strange intensity, as if they held secrets revealed only under this cursed moonlight. He softly called his name, but he appeared lost in reverie, ethereal whispers weaving around him like smoke. The air grew colder as shadows began coalescing at the periphery of her vision. Leading figures caught between realms emerged, lost souls sealed by despair during past blood moons, now drawn toward Leonard as if recognizing a kindred spirit among them. Panic surged through Maya's veins. He was slipping away into an abyss fueled by curiosity and madness. Steeling herself against rising dread, she rose from her seat near the fire, determined not to lose Leonard to whatever malevolent force lurked beneath that eerie glow. Trembling hands, she reached for him. Yet even as she grasped his shoulder, firmly calling for him to return, the shadows thickened around them like fog rolling in from another world. Spectral figures emerged more clearly from beyond the veil, a mass of swirling forms representing those consumed by despair long before this night arrived. They surrounded Leonard, their empty eyes reflected anguish, while whispers filled his mind with promises of understanding beyond mere mortal's grasp. Maya felt her heart race as this haunting scene unfolded, the struggle between sanity and insanity unspooling before her very eyes. Clear, these entities sought vengeance or salvation through Leonard's spirit, a connection forged in suffering across eons under blood moons past. That defining moment just before midnight approached. Chaos swirled around them, voices clamored for attention while shadowy tendrils wrapped hungrily around Leonard's form, drawing him deeper into darkness where light dared not tread. Fighting against despair, clawing at her own mind, Maya confronted her fears head-on. Fiercely, not merely words, but an invocation born from love and friendship shared over countless adventures together. Remember us, remember our moments, echoed against swirling madness threatening to swallow everything whole. The clash intensified as each entity lunged toward its intended target, some seeking revenge while others yearned for release. But Maya stood resolute amidst this tempestuous battle unfolding around them both. Her voice cut through the lifeline tethering Leonard back from darkness, laced with familiarity and warmth. Lowly but surely, clarity broke through haze, clouding his mind like sunlight piercing dawn's delicate mist. Recognition sparked behind his eyes as he turned toward Maya's unwavering presence, rooted firmly amid chaos spiraling all around them. Dawn approached, a tender light unfurling against remnants left behind by nightfall. The spectral figures wavered uncertainly, before receding into shadows, once more mere echoes, dissolving like mist beneath warming rays breaking free upon horizon's edge. Leonard stumbled backward away from that gathering storm, born of nightmares too painful to comprehend fully, though marked forever by what transpired beneath crimson skies bathed in blood-like hue above them. He turned, grateful yet shaken, toward Maya's familiar face radiating strength, despite everything unraveling within silence shared between friends who survived a night steeped heavily under supernatural weight, unbound by mortal confines any longer. So it was when first light broke upon woodlands alive again that they would leave behind an experience, tinged both wondrous yet dreadful, a memory etched indelibly onto hearts yearning always for adventure amid whisperings lingering, till upon gentle winds brushing softly through trees awakened anew.